Hello, NFL fans. Welcome back to Hurdle the Line. This is UK's predominant fan generated podcast for NFL lovers. This is your host, Chapman. I am, as you can tell, I'm coming off a very long Thanksgiving week. I tried to spread a little Thanksgiving cheer around these UK parts. But as always, I have my two buddies, my two NFL friends, Tom and Ollie. How are we, gentlemen?
Good. Another week where all three of our teams lost, and I probably feel the best about it. So I'm all right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to do a hurt ranking, it is definitely one me, two Tom, three Ollie. So did you guys have a nice Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Um, was it uh, what day was that again? Thursday.
It was
Thursday.
Thursday. I
Yeah.
actually I just sat and watched all the games, to be honest. I watched the Green Bay Lions game, and then I watched Chiefs game, and then I watched a little bit of the Ravens Bengals and then went to sleep. But it was a good action-packed day of football.
I ate
Yeah.
some turkey in the spirit of it. I definitely didn't because no one eats turkey unless they're forced to eat turkey, like it's Christmas or Thanksgiving. But
You don't like turkey?
well, I mean, it's not that I don't like turkey, but there's just so many better options, and I just think we keep lying to ourselves every year, and we force ourselves to eat turkey because it's the tradition when we could just be having much nicer meats, in my opinion.
You know why, Ollie? Because you've never had a good turkey cooked for you then.
No,
Because
no,
if I cooked a turkey for you, you'd be like, hot damn, that is good
Yeah,
turkey.
nah.
I agree. I think us in the UK we don't do good turkeys, to be honest, Ollie. Like, because I've had roast turkey at Christmas like every year, and it's the blandest thing in my life. So
A turkey's a turkey. I've seen the pictures of those of some of those Thanksgiving meals, and
Hmm.
all of the stick that Americans give British people about how bland our food is. I couldn't
Hmm.
even recognize most of the food on that plate. It looked bad, a lot of these plates that I saw, but I'm just saying.
Guys, I'm gonna just say this is gonna be a hot episode. The text chat today has just been insane. There's all sorts of things going on, and Ollie is saying that Thanksgiving food is bad right off the bat.
Well, no,
Which
no.
No, it's exactly what he
Let's
said.
not
He
let's
said,
not
and
go
that
out
is
and
bland, and
put
that
words in my
somehow that
mouth.
equates to how British food is bad. So we've got some hot takes, and that's what we're gonna do today. We're not gonna try to go through every little piece of every game, obviously, but we're gonna talk about these games, and we're gonna start with the three pack of the Thanksgiving games. But first, we just want to hit on a couple of little news tidbits. Um, Justin Herbert hurt himself. He broke his wrist. Is that
No,
right?
he broke a bone
Hand.
in his non-throwing hand.
Yeah. And he's gonna have a quick surgery this week, but he shouldn't miss any time, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the thought anyway, that he's not going to miss any time. We'll have to see how it plays out because I mean Aaron Rodgers did a similar thing and he didn't. Did he miss? He missed one game, I think.
Well,
This
Aaron
one game.
Rodgers was his actual wrist, whereas it is a bone in his hand, I think, which
Yeah.
slightly different, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, true.
I think it's
Still
more just a pain.
non-thrown, still non-thrown hand
Yeah, I
injuries.
think it'll just be a pain tolerance thing, really, won't it? If,
Yeah, 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 for sure. And
Yeah.
he's a tough guy. He's barely like yeah, he's missed a few games, but like he guts out there behind an offensive line that does not protect for him. So
Yeah. Um, this was and Rogers also got hurt yesterday, but I think he will be playing. He'll be fine. He got smashed in the face. He came back in the game, but
yeah.
yeah. Uh, this was an upset weekend, guys. I would say there was a lot of upsets or a lot of surprise wins. The script for week 13. By the way, this is the week 13 review show. We had games on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and Monday. Obviously tonight, which we won't be reviewing. Um, but it was yeah, there was some surprising wins yesterday, and there were some fun games on Thanksgiving, which Tom and Ollie, because you're English and well, Welsh and English, and because
thank you.
you're welcome, and because you're also just daringly young, you have missed the years of just I was talking to old folk about how all the games on like literally it was just background television. I mean, you still watched it because it was like Barry Sanders would show up, but like and then the Cowboys obviously in the 90s, but it was like the games were always terrible. But this week we got good Thanksgiving games. I'm gonna hit them really quick. We can talk. I know Tom, you're gonna probably want to talk about your team. So it was the Packers at the Lions. Packers triumph 31-24. Pretty disappointing game, I'd say, for Detroit. Fletch, if you want to pop in and say anything too, please feel free. The game of the day was definitely the Chiefs Cowboys game. Really, really fun game. Got to watch all of this, and it's the Cowboys who win again. They win 31-28. The Cowboys become the first team in the Super Bowl era ever to beat the back to back beat the two teams that were in the Super Bowl previously. Little tidbit for you guys. And then finally, the night game is the return of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow takes the Bengals and wins 32-14. And Lamar Jackson, this is just not going to be his season, I don't think, or the Ravens. And of course, the Bengals give the Cincinnati fans something to hope for that there might be a magical run coming with Joe Burrow back. What do we want to say about these games outside of the fact that like everybody, I just want to say this really quick. We all trashed the Cowboys with the Michael Parsons trade, and I still think somewhat rightfully so.
Mm.
But what we didn't know is that there were some other moves coming, which has shored up that defense, and then the Pickett trade is looking like a home run, and this team is in the NFC definitely has a puncher's chance to make it far. What do we think about this Cowboys team, guys?
Yeah, I mean yeah, we're the ones who were saying that, the trade was not a good trade, but I got to give a lot of credit to the Cowboys. I got to give a lot of credit in this game to Brian Schottenheimer because he called a great game, to be honest. Like some of the schemes, some of the offensive design, like he was really, really good in this game. But the Cowboys themselves, quietly, when they acquired Quinn Williams, that was a really big move for them. And then getting Logan Wilson as well. But it's just kind of shored up. They've gone from one of the worst run defenses to the best run defense over the last 5 weeks since they acquired Quinn Williams. And when their offense is clicking as it is at the moment, Dak Prescott throwing the ball down the field, playing very well, with those two receivers who can, be any coverage. That's the sort of recipe for success. And with the Eagles faltering, you do feel like the Eagles will probably still win a division, but it's going to be a lot closer than people thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
Um,
don't get me wrong. I think we can recognize that and still say it was. I mean, trading Micah Parsons is a disaster for what they traded him away for at his age. But yes, I do agree with what both you said. And obviously, I posed the question to you last week, Tom. Obviously, going into this game, you were quite confident. After the Cowboys beat the Eagles, we spoke about it last week. Is this the Cowboys finding form, or was it just a one-off win? I think we
Mm.
could probably say now that this is the Cowboys finding form.
Yeah.
But what is your quick thoughts of obviously the Chiefs losing this game? Obviously, with the massive thing that comes with now going to 6-6.
I think we've hit on it before, and this might be like a overarching thing for, in the off season or whatever, but the Chiefs and are wasting Patrick Mahomes' prime is what I'm seeing in front of my eyes. I mean, the guy just puts the team on his back, makes one of the most incredible players I've ever seen in my life, escapes 2 sacks, throws the ball down the field, Xavier Worthy with a catch, and they can't even win the game because the defense couldn't stop a cold. The Cowboys were 9 for 15 on third down on this one. And just some of the play calling as well, just running out of shotgun, which isn't working anyway, and just isn't a good, viable solution for your run game. That doesn't help. And then some of the play calling from Andy Reid, some of the conservative play calling on fourth down in plus territory. If you're aggressive there, who knows, you can go and score on that drive. And then kind of missed opportunities as well, finally. 28-31 towards the end of the game, have a chance for an interception that gets dropped. Cowboys fumble the ball. Chiefs could pick it up. Cavonte Turpin gets in there, gets it. They get the 3 points, and just like that, it's a different ball game. So yeah, it's lots of opportunities missed for the Chiefs, and it's just a shame to see. It's roster wise as well. It's just the construction of the roster, the defensive line. They've spent so much money on the offensive line, and they haven't, invested anything into the running back game. And you need to be a two-dimensional team to be able to beat teams. You can't just be one-dimensional. No, Mahomes can throw it everywhere. So that's something the Chiefs will have to remedy if they are going to somehow make a run.
But basically, what I want to know is where's the panic meter?
It's a solid seven. Yeah,
7.
seven.
I think that's the yeah. That's
I'm not gonna go to an 8 or a 9 yet until if we lose to the Texans, which they got the best defensive line in the league. So yeah, yeah, I'd say it's a 7 right now, but could very quickly up the gauge.
It's some unknown territory for the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes right now. So
Yeah.
definitely be interested to see it's a playoff game every week, which I know is a such a cliche saying, but it's the truth now for you. So do we want to talk anything about Green Bay beating the Lions, where the Lions are now, or and what also, Green Bay seems to have found its footing once again
Mm.
after a hot start, then going cold in the middle of the season. I
yeah.
believe Michael Parsons had did he have 8.5 sacks? Is that insane? Or something like that? No, he
Two and
didn't
a
have
half sacks in this
He
two
had
and a half
game.
two and a
sacks.
half sacks, but
Yeah,
he
so
he ended the game as well, I think. But he was, yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's ended multiple games this
I
year.
mean, yeah, he was a monster in this game. He was all of, I mean, Jared Goff, we know if he just stands in the pocket, I mean, that's what he does. He's not going to scramble around. I mean, he had one big scramble in this game, but other than that, he is just going to be a sitting duck standing in the pocket. And if Michael Parsons could get to him, that Lions O-line continues to be a problem. And I just wanted to shout out Jordan Love, who had a really solid performance. Um, he made some really, really difficult throws as well in this game for Green Bay. And
Love like it's so crazy, and I am going to steal from one of my favorite podcasts as I always do, Tom, but it's the truth. Shout out to Dan Hansis who says like he looks like the best quarterback for like 3 or 4 games, and then he
mm,
just like melts back down to like whatever the opposite of that. Not, and it's just like such a weird roller coaster ride with this dude.
oh yeah, 100%.
And also the weirdest thing is like even after Rodgers left, there's just like no real dominant receiver. I mean, Christian Watson, I guess, is supposed to be
Mm.
that, but it's like they just had this like cornucopia of like, all right. I mean, Kraft obviously was that for a bit of the season, but now it just feels like it's like I don't know. I'm just gonna throw to somebody, like and it's like the perfect match of this defense and competent offensive playing.
I think
Like,
that's what helps is that you don't know where it's coming from. Like Dontavian Wicks was the one that had the big game in this one. He had two
yeah,
touchdowns. But then you got Christian Watson, then you got Jaden Reed coming back. So you kind of don't know whether they're going to hit you. Josh Jacobs was back in this game as well. And that defense, they're so good. The thing with the Lions is they love to run outside zone, especially with Jahmyr Gibbs. And that's one thing that the Packers have been incredible at defending, and they're on the defense, and they bottled up Gibbs in this game for the most part. So yeah, it seems like Green Bay, they were kind of winning, but winning, not very convincingly. But this was a really, pretty convincing win for them, even if the final score doesn't, quite tell the tale of that they were dominating most of this game.
yeah.
So yeah.
It,
Look, we're not going to talk too much about Bengals Ravens. Bengals win. I don't think either of these. I mean, Ravens still have a really. They still have a shot to win the North and still be in there at the end, but it just doesn't. The eye test just doesn't feel like it's quite there for them. There was another game on Friday, the Black Friday game, which has been invented by our corporate NFL overlords, and it was Ollie's Bears beating the defended Super Bowl champion, the Eagles. As I've told Ollie, I love seeing the Eagles lose. I don't know why, because I hate all things Philadelphia. No offense to but I like Philadelphia people. Weird. Um, I didn't get to watch much of this one. How did it look? I heard it wasn't an amazing game, but they did enough to beat these Eagles.
I mean, as they're obviously resident Caleb Williams fan club leader or whatever the full title was. Um, Another one of them
Presidents.
games where like you look at the stat line and like obviously Caleb Williams haters are not enjoying it because it's like the stats look terrible, but they keep winning games. Like in this game, he was 17 for 36, 154 yards. I think he had one interception. Obviously had the touchdown, couple sacks, and like you can look at them stats and think he's not contributing to winning the game, but you watch the game and like he made plays in this game at moments when he needed to, and obviously that massively obviously includes the winning touchdown pretty much at the end, which was a really, really good throw. Kind of running to his left over the top, looped over the top to the tight end for the touchdown. But I think the story for the Bears was they just ran all over the Eagles, and it was kind of embarrassing for the Eagles at times. Obviously, how much they've invested into that defensive line, how much they've invested into that defense, and they had a guy called Kyle
Monongai.
Mm.
Monongai.
Yeah.
He went for 130 in this game. Swift went for 125 in this game. They just ran all over the Eagles. The Eagles never really got into this game, and the Bears that all year, every time they've won, people have said that they don't believe in this team and that they're only people have said they've beaten bad teams or they've gotten lucky in games, etc., etc. And now they've gone and beaten the former Super Bowl champions, and I think this is the first time people can't really take this away from them, and now they have the number one seed in the NFC. So massive for them, massive for Ben Johnson, who's probably going to win Coach of the Year. And obviously, I'm obviously happy for Caleb Williams.
And
And
don't forget, AJ Brown got his catches for the year. I mean, they might have lost, but he's going to keep
Well,
smiling
yeah, yeah,
once he
he's
gets his
happy, I
catches and
suppose.
touchdowns. So
He also, I mean, he would rather 10 catches, 132 yards, two touchdowns, and lose than two catches for 15 yards and no touchdowns. So at least AJ Brown's happy.
the Eagles are now 8-4. They're no longer the number one seed in the NFC. That's now the Bears. Still gonna definitely more than likely win the East, though, Dallas is coming back, but I think that's probably a stretch. I I don't know. It's interesting. They won the Super Bowl last year, and it feels like the season now is starting to kind of turn on them a little bit.
I
It's
mean, I've got a
too
stat for
too
you, Chapman,
go
that'll blow
ahead.
your
Yeah.
mind. The Eagles have the most three and outs of any team this season. They have more than
Wow.
than
More
the
than the Falcons?
more than the Falcons, more than the Titans. They're the
More than the
number one
Browns.
team to go three and out. Like they are. This offense is bad. It's anemic. It is. They
Yeah.
don't know what they're doing. They don't know whether to fire Kevin Petula or whatever. Like they just don't have well, they have an identity, but they don't know how to use it. And if they keep going this way, they're not going to get far.
It's
Well, you say they don't know how to use it. I mean, I don't think. I mean, they knew how to use Saquon Barkley last year. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you go from 2,000 yards, one of the greatest seasons from a running back in NFL history, to as bad as he has been just because, you know what I mean? Just because of that. I think there's serious, serious cracks in this offense, as you said, Tom. That, I mean, Saquon Barkley this year is a shell of what we saw last year. Whereas I don't think everyone else around him, I don't think is that bad. Like Jalen Hurts stats look like Jalen Hurts stats. AJ Brown, obviously, yes, fewer catches or whatever. But for me, it's Saquon Barkley. Like we're going off a season where he had 2,000 yards to whatever the hell this is this year, and I just think that's the biggest thing for this offense is
I
they
think
just.
it's him, but it's also the offensive line as well.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
it's
I'm
like
not
they
blaming
were
Saquon. That's not what I'm
dominating
saying.
last year, creating gaps for him to absolutely run rampant. Whereas this year, I know obviously they got a bit banged up here and there, but still, like you would expect them off the back of last year to be doing a lot better than what they are. And yeah, Saquon himself isn't performing well either. I mean, he's averaging less than what, like 3.3 yards per carry, something like that, which is just, yeah, it's just not good, not
I'm
efficient.
just
So,
happy that the tush push is getting pushed back. We've seen
mm,
multiple times now this season. We've seen the most success we've seen against anyone have against the tush push this year, which obviously you could argue is played a big part of obviously the offense as well. But yeah, they got a lot of stuff to try and figure out.
for sure.
I think I was reading something on the Ringer where the QB sneak has been like historically unsuccessful this season for multiple teams, but I'll come back to you when I find that. Um, all right, guys, let's get into the meat of the games this week, and we have to start with what was the best game of Sunday, I think. But I didn't get to watch you watched the Commanders the other thing. Spoiler alert. But the best game I thought of the day had to be the upset and one of the biggest upsets of the year, which was the Carolina Panthers beating the Los Angeles Rams, the mighty Rams, who were, everybody last week was talking like they're going straight to the Super Bowl. They they hadn't allowed more than 16 something points per game this season. And the Panthers, they roasted for 31 points. It's a tight game, it's 28-31, but, you know, they lose. Granted, it was on the road, but they were a double digit favorite, I believe, in this game. And, Dave Canales has got this Panthers team now at 7-6, a team I don't think anybody thought would had a chance. And every year, there's that team, and the Panthers sure are making a case to be like the team that comes from the bottom, and or as a basement dweller, and maybe could be getting to a playoff spot. Did you guys enjoy this game at all?
Yeah, this is a great back and forth game. I think also Matt Stafford passed Tom Brady for the most passing touchdowns without an interception. He threw 28. Um, and then right after that, he then throws a pick six. So
Yeah,
he got the record, and then he was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm done with that now." So,
yeah.
and fair play to Mike Jackson. I think he got the pick six on that one. Stafford threw two picks in the game and fumbled as well. So this was his worst game probably of the year. And they still only lost by 3 points, which is something. But I just got to give a lot of credit to the Panthers in this game, really. Bryce Young, after a difficult game last week against the 49ers, maybe had one of his best days as a pro, 206 yards, only 206 yards, but he also had three touchdowns, two of those on fourth down as well, including the one fourth and two, with about 6 minutes left which ended up being the game-winning touchdown to Tetero McMillan. So
Which was an awesome catch.
that was a great catch. That was a great catch. And speaking of catches, the catch for Puka Nacua in this game,
Oh, the one-handed catch.
one-handed was insane because it's not like the corner had bad coverage either. Like they were talking about it
No,
on
he
the
was right
call,
on
being
him.
like
Yeah.
he was right on him. Like he was playing perfect coverage, and it was just a better catch. So that was definitely impressive. And with Devontae Adams as well made history. I think he's now seventh on the all-time touchdown receiver list.
And what does he
Um,
have? 12 this season already?
yeah, he has like
I feel
11. Yeah,
so dumb for not drafting that guy.
yeah, I know it's insane. It's like it's the Rams version of the tush push is at the 1 yard line. Matt Stafford throwing a back shoulder fade to Devontae Adams. So
It's true.
it's he's been absolutely dominant this year. And I think he's got 11 touchdowns in his last like 8 games or something. So it's
What
crazy.
what do you think it was about Carolina's offense? And like, let's give some props to obviously Bryce Young. He had a good game.
Hmm.
What do you think it was about that? Like, just I mean, because like the Rams defense has been great this year.
Hmm.
So what did they do that sort of just was able to unlock whatever against them?
I
I mean, I'm
think they've played fundamental football. They didn't just, rely on the passing game. Rico Dowdle wasn't so good in this game, but Chuba Hubbard had a bounce back game in this one as well. Because I think he scored a touchdown in the screen game, or like he got a pass, it dumped off to him, and then he ran it in from like 30 yards out. Um, so I think that threat of because that's the thing when the Panthers are able to put it together with the offense and then also yeah, well, with the running game and with the passing game in sync, they can be a dangerous team. They can be if they don't turn the ball over. And then when on the defense, when you got Derek Brown, who's having an all-pro type season, like he's playing great for them, ended up being the one that knocked out of Matt Stafford's hands, um, with it being recovered by I think DJ won them or something. But yeah, well, when the Panthers put it all together, they can be a good like feisty team.
yeah.
Bryce Young, the youngest player with 11 game-winning
Comeback
touchdown
wins.
drives
Yeah.
in his career. So shout out to Bryce Young. Shout out to all the short kings out there. Obviously, me and Tom wouldn't know, but Shout out to all the short kings out there. I wouldn't class. Oh, no, I wouldn't class you as a short king, Chapman. You're an average height king,
I'm an average. I'm average.
average
Thank
height
you.
king.
I appreciate that, Ollie.
But you're our average height king.
Thank you. It's very, very nice of you. Let's get Ollie back in this conversation. So let's move over to the AFC. AFC, unless you
It is
have,
great that Ollie just leaves when the NFC's
yeah, he's just like, I
on.
don't give a shit. It's
No,
so true.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
I can tell, Tom. I appreciate the fact that you enjoy both conferences, as do I. Um, it's very
I do
true.
not. I do
We
not.
lo you s-
I know what you're talking about.
you
I don't
bring up
accept these accusations.
like I mean, if we want to just really crush him, like a Giants Cardinals game,
Yes.
he just
Yeah.
folds inside. So there was another good game, and that was the Texas Colts game. And the Texans, the best defense in all the NFL, defeat the Colts 20-16. The Colts are on a slide now. I think we definitely can say that this is two in a row, and they almost lost to the Falcons in Berlin. If it wasn't for an overtime, you know, flubby by the old Falcony Falcons. But anyway, sorry, throw that in there. I don't know why. I had this game kind of out of, obviously there was a lot of games at 1 o'clock or 6 o'clock our time. But every time I looked over, I just saw Daniel Jones doing one of these and just getting totally smashed. What did you guys take away from this game?
Oh, just the AFC is very interesting. The AFC South got very interesting with this. The Texans getting hot at the right time. Like now, obviously they've won what? Is it four in a row? I mean, at least
Yeah,
four of the last five or something like that.
three with
Obviously,
Davis Mills. This is sorry, I
I was
forgot to mention
yeah, first game back
GAC
for
Spartan
CJ
Davis
Stroud.
Mills.
Shout out to Davis Mills. How like he is the reason their season is alive.
Mm.
They they get to the playoffs, they all owe him dinner because like he is literally the reason their season is
No,
alive
they owe
right
him a
now.
car.
Well,
Mm.
probably more. Yeah, true. Very true. Well, nowadays, Chapman, I think a Spencer dinner probably costs more than the car for those guys. But um, he obviously kept that season alive. CJ Stroud first game back wasn't amazing, but played well enough with that defense. When your defense is that good, you don't need to be that amazing on offense. You've just got to do the little things right, play smart football. He did have one interception in this game, but outside of that was pretty good. But you said it, Chapman. Colts are sliding, and now the AFC South has a new leader in the Jacksonville Jaguars. As much to Tom's delight. The Houston Texans are now very in position to make the playoffs. With if they keep winning, so this has gotten very interesting. And the Colts, you look at that division, Colts, Jacksonville, and obviously Houston, and the games remaining. The Colts have definitely got the tougher games. They still have to play Seattle in one of those games. So they definitely got the tough. There should be a scenario where the Colts missed the playoffs after starting what I don't know what they got to. Was it 8-1 or
8-2, 8-1, yeah, 8-1, I think.
Yeah, and
yeah?
one.
So very very interesting. Just goes to show you how you can never be too confident in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're 8-1. You've still got to keep winning games because especially in the AFC this year, it seems like no one really wants to step up and take this conference. I mean, is it the Broncos currently leading the conference with the one seed, and they're the
Yeah.
most hilarious 10-2 team I think we've seen in quite a while. And so the AFC is just looking to get very excited, and this game I think just summed that up in a
Let
nutshell with the Texans winning.
Let's save a little bit of that because we got a lot of crap games to just spend like literally a minute on and then roll through, and then we can talk a little bit more about play. So we'll go through the playoffs percentages. I do believe, to quote one Ollie, uh, the Colts are fugazi, if I'm not mistaken on the old tech. Was that you?
I think I said that.
Oh, it was Tom. Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
took a gamble on which one it was.
No,
So
no, yeah,
I, I
no,
think we all
you
I
got a
think we all
50,
agree.
you got a 50%
I had
chance. So,
78 texts to kind of speed back through from
I mean,
YouTube today.
yeah,
So
I don't
Me and
think
Ollie were going back and
somebody
forth.
didn't work today, gentlemen. So anyway, go ahead. I didn't want to kill the vibe.
No, but it was I think the problem is what if you bottle up Jonathan Taylor
yeah.
as he has been done in the last couple of games. He's had less than 70 rushing yards, I think, in two straight. And you put the game on Daniel Jones's back, that's when you start having problems. I mean, he had a beautiful throw to Alec Pierce with a great touchdown, but other than that, he was under duress, and you are going to be under duress when you got Will Anderson Jr. and Daniil Hunter in your grill the whole time. But he has regressed somewhat back from, he's kind of gone back to the mean, hasn't he? Really, he started the season so well, but he has been turning the ball over. He has been, turnover pro. I mean, I don't know how he's throwing the ball when he's got broken fibula or something, but
Yeah.
that's pretty insane.
Well,
Um,
fibula is in the leg, isn't it? So
Yeah.
is that leg bone
It's
fibula?
yeah,
yeah,
it's a big it's
Yeah,
the
yeah. So you can still throw the ball.
yeah, but how is he even moving? Is what
No,
I'm
how's he
saying.
planting? Because you're using
I'm joking. Um, I mean, none of us bought into the Colts this at any point this year. None of us.
Hmm.
I don't think any of us came any week and
I
said,
bought
"Yeah,
into Jonathan Taylor.
okay," but I don't think any of us came in any week and said, "Yeah, this Colts team is the favorite to the AFC,"
No.
even though when
Hmm.
they were 8-1, and I think we all knew that it was going to get to a
When they
point
were
where we
beating
did.
up on the Titans and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you said it, Tom. I mean, I saw a stat earlier. They're 7-1 in games where Jonathan Taylor scores a touchdown, and 1-3 in games where he doesn't score a touchdown this year. Didn't score a touchdown in this game. They lost this game. So yeah, I mean, I just as Tom said for Daisy, there could be a scenario where they don't even make the playoffs after such a great start. They need to start winning games quickly, and find that form again. But as you said, Tom, I think we saw Daniel Jones at. I don't think you get more than that from Daniel Jones. Do you know what I mean? So can he get back to that? Hopefully, and that's obviously what Colts fans will be hoping. But as I said, I don't think any of us fully bought into that it was going to get any more than that.
Yeah. I couldn't find any fun tidbits about this game, so we can just keep moving. Do we want to talk about Buccaneers Cardinals?
Kristen Wirfs touchdown, big man touchdown. Love to see that.
Sure. All right. Bucks win 20-17 against the Cardinals. Bounce back game for them after losing, I
Three
think
straight.
five out of their last six.
Mm.
They're coming out of the cannon. And we just lost Ollie again on the NFC. um, just gets up and walks off. I'm out. It's not how this podcast works, Ollie. Um,
Sorry, I
You
actually
do
was
seem
doing
to do it
something.
every time we talk
I
about
promise
NFC,
I
though.
actually was doing something.
I mean, your protests are well documented now. All right. Um, I mean, I guess for me, having watched this game, Baker gutting it out, I guess again, we know he's dealing with that shoulder issue, but I just kind of feel like this team already peaked, and it's just like they're just too injured to do anything. I mean, they looked awesome earlier this year. Baker was playing great at the beginning of the season, but like now we're in December, and they've still got a good defense, but I'm just not sure this offense is going to be able to keep up with anybody, especially not the Rams, not Chicago. Trying to think who else. You know,
Patches.
and they still have the Panthers kind of nipping at their heels in the
Mm.
South. So there's a lot to be decided here as well. The NFC South still entertaining,
I
even in
mean, yeah,
December.
this was a much needed win for the Bucks as well, off the back of some disappointing losses. And getting Bucky Irvin back was a massive part of this game as well. He got a touchdown in this one. Um, and the Cardinals hung around as they are likely to do. I think Trey McBride got another touchdown for him, who's having a
He
great
did.
season. Um,
I think he's leading all tight ends and touchdowns, if I'm
Yeah, I
not
think he's got
mistaken.
8 now or something. So after having only one last year, which he got in the final week
Oh,
of
I
the
remember
season,
that.
that
Yeah.
was insane. But
Totally
he
forgot
had
about
such a good
that.
season without getting a touchdown. But
Yeah.
he's getting all the touchdowns this year. So, but yeah, fair play to the Bucks for being able to grind it out. Yeah, I just wanted to shout out Tristan Wirfs because I just love to see when a left tackle catches a touchdown.
Oh
So
yeah, that was a fun play. That was a cool play.
Uh,
You like
as
you
a
guys
as
seen
a
the
Browns as a Browns fan, I'd just get nightmares watching Baker Mayfield shoulder injury still playing. Oh no, I don't want any part. I can't even watch. Just get me away from it. I'm getting PTSD.
well, one for you, one for us, Ollie. So we'll go. How about there's Broncos Commanders. Tom, I know you watched that this morning. So
yeah,
Broncos went eke it out 27-26. I believe it ended on a a missed 2-point conversion at the end for Commanders, and Marcus Mariota played valiantly, even though he didn't
Hmm.
quit the team, I guess, because he got benched. But whatever. Yeah, I'll mention it every single time. Um, was it was are we convinced? How good are the Broncos? I don't know.
I have no idea. This is the problem, is that they feel like last year's Chiefs to me, where they're just finding a way to win these games, which is exactly what the Chiefs did and somehow went 15-2. I don't know how the Broncos are winning these games because I don't think fundamentally they're that good of a football team. I think their defense is incredible, and I think Bo Nix steps up when he needs to. But would I be surprised if they got bounced in the first round of the playoffs? No, I wouldn't. But that being said, in this game, they did manage to eke out a win. The Commanders played really tough in this game, especially defensively. They played really, really, really well. And the refs, the officiating in the last, 15, 20 minutes of this game was absolutely atrocious. There were so many calls against the Commanders, which were, there was one that was tripping, there was this, there was that. They were 3rd and 25. They managed to convert, get down the field after the Broncos had scored a touchdown in overtime. And then they scored a touchdown to Terry McLaurin. And then they go for the 2-point conversion, which is fair enough. You're 3-8. You might as well go for the win, right? And
Oh,
Nick
every
Benito,
time,
yeah,
every time.
exactly. And
I
then
don't
Nick
care what your
Benito,
record is, 100%.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. And then Nick Benito comes up with the player of the game for them. Blocking a Mario. Because if he puts it like a tiny bit higher, the receiver's wide open for the 2-point conversion for the win. But Nick Bonito comes in there, gets the block, and the Broncos come out on top. But I just want to say one thing from this game. Traylon Burks made one of the best catches I've ever seen. Very Odell-esque. And Odell even tweeted about it afterwards, saying, number 13. So,
And to rehash mine and Tom's conversation in the group chat, unfortunately, nobody is going to care because it's Traylon Burks on a 3-9 football team, and it's going to get lost in the memory, which is a shame for him because, as you said, Tom, absolutely unreal catch.
yeah.
Definitely catch of the week and catch of the year potential catch, just an unreal catch. But I just every time I watch Bo Nix, it's just so like I feel like this guy's going to play 10 years, and I'm never going to know if he's actually good. Like it's just so funny. Like obviously we all know, how my thoughts of Bo Nix coming out. We all know Chapman's thoughts of Bo Nix coming. We weren't the biggest fans of Bo Nix. Um, and everyone will try and shove stuff in my face, be like, look, he's proving you wrong. And it's like I don't even think he's proved me wrong, and it's weird. I can't explain it. Like he's proved me right, but proved me wrong at the same time. And I just feel like in 10 years, I'm still not gonna know if he's actually good or not. It's just such a weird quarterback.
Trying to think of who in the last like 15 years that would. Eli was a little bit like that until he won that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because you're like, is this guy good? Like, I don't know. Like he kind of because he never flashed, but he could win games. It was weird. But
Yeah.
and then obviously they go on that '07 run, and that's I'm trying to think if there's anybody else who's oh Jay Cutler was a little bit like that too. But Jay Cutler was more of a you know he was more of a Favre type where he could he just he played with
Yeah.
reckless abandon. But yeah, anyway, I agree with you. Broncos are the number one seed in the AFC though right now. And Sean Payton told everybody at the beginning of the season, this team's going to the Super Bowl. So, whatever. I'm just going to name off the scores of some of these other games because the rest of these games are. Granted, I will say the Jets Falcons game was the worst, closest game I've ever seen in my life. It was such an awful game. It was so, except for Bijan, who, God bless Bijan. I feel so awful he's on this team because they even showed him at one point, and he was just like, I made the joke to my friends. I was like, he's just going, why did I get drafted by Atlanta? Like he's just looking around. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna name these games. If you guys have anything you want to say about any of them, then like please. Sorry, my screen just went haywire. Okay, so damn it, it did it again. Excuse my language. Here we go. The Dolphins beat the Saints 21-17. The 49ers destroy the Browns 26-8. The now 3-9, but at the time 2-9 Jets beat the Falcons in a must-win game 27-24. And somehow Raheem Morris still has his job today. And the Jaguars crushed the Titans 25-3. I'm sure you have thoughts about the Browns as Miles uh, Garrett approaches what would be an amazing feat this season, which would be hopefully to break the sack record, but he needs 3.5 more. No?
Yeah, 3.5 more.
Yeah. 49ers looked pretty good yesterday, didn't they?
Um, no, I mean
I
we
agree.
just literally gave them this. I mean, it's just Brown. I mean, how many times have you seen it from the Browns this year? But like, we just gave them this game. I mean, their 3 touchdown drives had a total of 91 yards. Like we just, I mean,
Okay.
special teams and then obviously the offense, the turnover on offense, we just completely handed them this game. But I'm not, yeah, I mean, it's a terrible game. I'm not going to go too much into it. Miles Garrett got his sack. I'm going home with something. So, I'm happy. As you can be when your team loses.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing for the Falcons and the Jets. I mean, the Falcons outran, outpassed, time of possession, everything, a muff punt, and really, really bad special teams. And the Jets win that game. Um,
Is
Jaguars
Drake
are
London
now,
injured as well,
huh?
right? Is Drake London injured, right? Because I
He
saw
hasn't played in
I
two
saw
weeks.
some
He,
87 rate some guy at 87. I don't even remember his name. Sills or something.
yeah, Sills. He is our fourth string wide receiver. Darnell Mooney did another classic thing where when the game's on the line, when you need hits him right in the hands, and he doesn't. I mean, if you should just Google Darnell Mooney getting hit in the hands and not catching the ball this season. It's quite a great YouTube clip show. Yeah, Stills had a really great. He had a touchdown. It's the second back-to-back weeks having a touchdown last week as well. Um,
That's his up and run.
Jaguar, what's up?
I have a
Oh,
question
oh.
regarding this game, and it's not necessarily specifically about the game itself. It's something that I feel needs to be brought up. Can we just talk for a second about Shelby Harris's comments after the game? Because
Mm.
Mm,
that's one of the most "find me, I don't care" statements. I
mm.
will
Yeah.
say what needs to be said regarding Juwan Jennings.
Mm.
And I've been trying to vamp some of the social media up on AEW Network, and I did a lot last night around trying to get some graphics together. And when I tell you, writing a graphic that says um, the words, oh, where did the graphic go? I see why he got punched in the nuts is the best graphic I've ever done in my life, but also sat there for 30 minutes going, did I really make this one and put this together? Like what? I
Well,
didn't get much of the game in. What was the
well, you
much
said
going on between Joe?
it wasn't just I see why you got punched in the nuts. He then
Oh
added
yeah.
you should have been punched in the face or the jaw.
Yeah, punched in the jaw. I'm surprised
And
someone hasn't punched him in the jaw or
Oh,
something.
the,
Yeah.
the
and
best part of it was he's a hoe. I
yeah,
I don't care.
but
He's a
What a
And
hoe.
he hides
hoe
behind
this
his O
weekend.
line. Yeah.
can I just start by, and I can't stress this enough, Shelby Harris is one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. So for him to to have this reaction after the game, I'm sure it obviously got quite, but it apparently stemmed from Malik Collins because Malik Collins got injured and completely forgot the news at the start of the episode that he's out for the season, which is obviously a massive loss. I say a massive loss for the Browns. We're trying to lose games at this point, so it's probably a good thing for the Browns. But he was literally playing at an all pro level and probably would have got all pro votes. He went down in this game. Apparently, Juwan Jennings was saying stuff to him as he was carted off or something like that, which obviously caused a little bit of a scuffle. And then obviously, yeah, Shelby Harris to come out and say, you a hoe. I want to put that on record. And obviously, basically say why he got punched in the nuts and should have been punched in the jaw. But as I said, my biggest takeaway from that is Shelby Harris is the nicest guy. So for him to be saying that, you must have really been a hole.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I didn't watch much of the game. Obviously, what I did get through Red Zone, they're not talking about that. All I saw was the locker room interview afterwards, and was just like, "Whoa!" I'm aware that Juwan Jennings has a reputation around the league. I'm aware that a
Mm,
lot of people do not like Juwan Jennings because of there's talk and then there's what Juwan Jennings does. But I wanted to know
Mm.
what was going on there, and also just shout out one of the greatest, most quotable interviews now in history.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all time quote. And shout
Oh
out to
yeah,
Shelby Harris sticking up for his guys.
100%.
So just wanted to. I'm gonna slip that now. Enjoy.
Fletch just wanted to say ho on the podcast. That's the only reason. That's the only reason he
Did
came
you
on to
say,
say
I
that.
mean, did you see his face? He's like a kid in a candy store. Whoa!
Love it.
Do we? So I was about to mention the
Oh,
Jags beating the Titans. Yeah. 25-3. And the Jaguars are now, I believe, in sole possession of the AFC South first place.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm sure you can tell us about their playoff things in a minute. So, yeah, you beat the Titans.
I mean, the Titans are so bad. Like,
They're
we all
so
knew they were
bad.
going to be bad this year. Like, we all said they were going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. But I don't think we thought they were going to literally be one of the worst teams we've seen in the last decade. Like, they are genuinely so bad.
They remind me a bit of but you know what's interesting is that I don't even know what the spread on this game was, but do you remember those 2 years where the Jaguars were just, I mean, just
Yeah,
phenomenally
yeah.
god awful?
The
And
Trevor Lawrence and yeah, thing he is.
every spread was like 14 and a half
Yeah,
points almost. Like it was like, I think there was like a record of like the most double digit spreads for an NFL team in a row. Um, yeah, they're bad. They're gonna
it
be
sucks. It sucks because you can't even really evaluate Cam Ward this
no.
season because it's just a throw. I mean, what can you really take from this season from Cam Ward? It's so bad everything around him.
And honestly, just let him get out of the season unhurt
Oh,
and
100%.
don't get him sacked. I mean, I know he's getting sacked a lot, but try not to get him
Well,
broken.
and guess who he plays next week? Chapman, Miles
We
Garrett.
got, yeah. Well, that record might be coming to an end next week already.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers with Cam Ward.
The late games were also all boring and awful. And in fact, I just turned to my wife at one point and went, "We're going to bed." And
Yeah,
we did. The Seahawks 26 to beat the Vikings 26 to nothing without JJ McCarthy. I forgot the guy's name.
Max
Boomer,
Brosmer, yeah, threw four
Brosmer
picks, was very
threw one of the worst picks
very
I've.
forgettable game. I mean, they only scored one touchdown on offense, I think.
Well, it makes you kind of wish JJ would come back because
Mm.
much to the line JJ, he threw a pick. He was trying to ground the ball or just get into the vicinity, and he literally threw it into the hands of the. But like as he did one of the classic like I'm
He did the
the
falling.
Will Levis.
Mahomes.
He
Yeah,
did the Will Levis. That's what he did.
I mean but it looked worse. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I was like
it
I was
was so
appalled.
bad.
The Chargers beat the Raiders 31 to 14. I think the only thing is just monitoring Herbert's hand here. I believe the Chargers. Where are the? We'll talk about it in a second because we're gonna go through the playoff stuff. So, and then finally the Bills bounce back 26-7 against the Steelers, who are now 6-6. And I believe on the outside, that game just was also atrocious. Every time I looked at it, I think Rodgers was on the ground, and then next thing I know, Mason Rudolph was in the game, and I'm like, oh well, this game's over as well.
I was
So
going to say with the Bills one, just to shout out a couple of
Josh
things
Allen,
just from those games was yeah, Josh Allen became the all-time rushing
quarterback.
touchdown leader quarterback, surpassing Cam Newton. And also that the Bills just ran all over the Steelers for a record. That it was like the most yards they've given up at Acrisure Stadium, like
And
jeez.
260 rushing yards or
and
something.
I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of those runs were going to the right
I mean,
side.
they literally did the same run like about a million different times,
Mm.
and the Steelers couldn't stop it. And everyone was, well, a lot of the Steelers fans were chanting, "Fire Mike Tomlin." So it's not looking
Yeah,
good in Pittsburgh.
a certain £40 million, uh, $40 million a year player was getting ran all over in that game, and it brought me much pleasure to watch that happen,
I thought you might enjoy that, Ali. Yeah.
As well as the Steelers lose that game. He had 19 pass rush attempts, one pressure, £40 million, teaching pounds, $40 million a year.
Why do you
Well
hate
done,
him so
Steelers.
much? Besides the fact he's in your division,
Who? The
the 40
Steelers.
million. Yeah,
Oh,
I know why you hate
TJ.
the Steelers. Yeah, TJ. Yeah.
Oh, don't get me
Oh, is
started,
this
man.
going to be one
Don't
of
get
those
me
like
Nah,
started.
I'm
This
going to go
is
you don't want to
cross-eyed?
open up this can of worms, but I was
you
going to
Okay, I
don't
say
want to
one
don't. I
open
other.
know
up
I
this
don't. If
can
you
of
say I
worms.
don't, I don't.
Yeah,
You don't want
you
to
don't. I
open
was
up
going to
this
say
can of
one other
worms.
thing for the other game with the Chargers. Obviously, I know
Yeah.
it was that it wasn't a great game or whatever, but a great touchdown catch from Brock Bowers as well. Literally took it off the turf for a touchdown grab. So
Who
that was
replaced Chip Kelly? It was that dude, right? I'll look it up while you're
who
talking.
did
Sorry.
replace Chip Kelly? Good
He's
question.
really familiar looking.
Don't know.
Either way, the Raiders are still terrible, and the
And
Chargers
again,
Greg
are
Olson.
less terrible, but they're
another
still. I
great catch that
mean,
no one
they're
cares
whatever
about,
they
Tom.
are. So
Because it's the 2-10 Raiders, and it made the score what 14-31. So no one's gonna care
I know
about
no one's
them.
gonna remember it, but all I'm saying is it was an incredible catch.
No, no, no. I'm, not, I'm saying it's unfortunate when
I
you got
really
these
hope
great
that
players. Sorry, Chapman,
what?
go ahead.
No, I
No, you go ahead.
interrupted you. Great
No,
players,
no,
what?
that was all I had to say.
Well, my hope is for Brock Bowers, just because I personally love him so much. I hope this is not one of those careers where he's just going to stay on the Raiders for 10 years and they're going to never
Yeah,
win
and retire.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And he's just, I've got my, 1,000 yards and
yeah.
8 touchdowns every year or whatever it
Just
is. It's
just be
like,
happy
I'm a
being
Hall
like
of
the all.
Famer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
never had a quarterback. Anyway, those are the games, guys. Just the few minutes we have left. Let's just go through the playoff where we are with the playoffs right now. Ollie, you take the AFC first since I know you've got it all knocked out right there.
Yep. So as I said earlier, I mean, it's very interesting. I think Broncos and Patriots have pretty much confirmed themselves as they're not just in, but they're going to be the top two seeds, I imagine. But then it obviously gets very interesting with those last two division spots because you got the AFC South that obviously we've mentioned the Jacksonville Jaguars now own. They're 8-4, Colts are 8-4, Texans are 7-5. So that is, and they all play each other for the rest of the season. Jaguars play the Colts twice, so that division is going to really come down to those division games. That's going to be interesting to see how that works. The AFC North, obviously, Ravens and Steelers both being 6-6, but whoever wins the North gets in, and the North won't get a wild card team. But as we've spoken about, it's just really interesting with how it's going to fall down, basically in the wild card with Tom's Chiefs, with obviously those other teams, and it's basically going to be between the Chiefs, Texans, Bills, Colts, Chargers, and Jacksonville Jaguars for who's gonna make the obviously those final playoff spots and the division spots as well. But currently, as it stands with those teams, Steelers got a 29% chance. Chiefs have a 37% chance. Texans have a
Goes up to
62%.
56% if they beat the Texans.
Yeah, Texans have a 62% chance. Bills have a 91% chance. Colts have a 69% chance. Chargers have a 61% chance. Jaguars 81%. Ravens 70%. We've said it the last 2 weeks. We've never seen the Chiefs in this situation. It is really getting to go time now. They probably have to win out or bare minimum win all but one and hope they did a couple of results their way. But it is going to be very interesting regardless.
And the Texans look like they're coming on strong. That's what I
And
think.
and teams are getting hard at the right time, as you said.
Yeah.
Texans, it's gonna get interesting.
It's gonna be fun. Over in the NFC, right now, hold on. Keep vamping, guys. I got the wrong thing here. Keep vamping.
Well, finally on the just quickly on it. I mean, I asked you the last 2 weeks, Tom. You've obviously given me an answer the last 2 weeks. I'll do it again now that I've laid it all out to you. This is the lowest percentage has obviously been. Are we still confident? Are we still certain that the Chiefs are going to pull this out the bag, or are you starting to crack in the optimism?
It's it's a game by game season now, Ollie, isn't it? So I just think they can beat the Texans next week. That's all I think right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. All right, you're doing coach talk. He's doing coach talk, guys. We're only thinking about next week. We're only thinking about this week's
We're on to
opponent. We're not
Cleveland.
looking ahead.
Can't be getting
Yeah,
ahead of ourselves
we're on.
right
We're on
now.
to Houston. We're on to Houston. And can I just say, if it's going to go by what Andy Reid is saying, you will not make the playoffs because Andy Reid, with an all-time quote today, saying that they were asked, "Are you confident that you can win out, make the playoffs?" Yeah, we're gonna play our best, and we're gonna what was it, Tom? We're gonna tickle your tonsils. So all
Yeah, he
time
did.
quote from Andy Reid that makes me think
I
this
didn't think that
actually.
was real until I watched the press conference before I jumped on and then realized what the heck that was. But yeah.
After seeing that, I think this is finally the year. I think this is finally the year.
I've got no response to that, guys. But moving on to NFC standings, we now have the Chicago Bears are the number one seed in the NFC as we sit
Yes.
today here at Week 13. Ollie's pet team, followed by the Rams, then Philly, Tampa Bay, Seattle will get that fifth seed. Green Bay right now has the sixth seed. And San Francisco has the seventh seed with Detroit,
Yeah.
Dallas, and Carolina all looking from the outside in. Of the teams that are here at the bottom, let's say Seattle, Green Bay, San Francisco, and Detroit, Dallas, Carolina, I feel like Dallas of all those teams, and Seattle, I think is going to be in. I think Seattle's fine, but I would say of those two wild card spots, I'm actually really interested to see if Dallas flips the switch and actually ends up in one of these wild
I
card spots.
I think the only chance I because Dallas is what at six,
They're
they're
six, five.
still
5-1.
so they're still 2.5 games out of a wild card spot, I think. Whereas the Panthers, they're not thinking wild card, they're thinking Buccaneers
Mm,
fold the end of the season, as you
yeah, yeah,
mentioned,
Yeah,
yeah.
Chapman. And I think that's the route. I think it's Panthers winning the division
yeah,
is what would get one of those teams in. And I think the most interesting thing for me is that we spoke about it last week or the week before. It is now basically going to come down to, as we said, the Packers, Bears, and Lions. One of those teams is missing out, and which is crazy to say, is just that one of them's 7-5, one of them's 8-3-1, and one of them's 9-3. One of those teams is missing out because the Niners are 9-4. They're getting in as a wild card. As
yeah,
we mentioned earlier, as you just said, Chapman. Sorry, the Seahawks are getting in. They're 9-3.
yeah.
I think the only route here is the Lions making it in as a wild card team, or obviously the Panthers making it in as the division winner. But if the Cowboys do it, then that would be one. But as you said, Chapman, getting hot at the right time.
I
They just need one of those teams to start losing games
want to see what this rest of this Philly's got.
Who
because
would you
they're.
pick though out of the
Philly's
Ollie?
got the chart. I mean, Philly's got a pretty favorable
I'm gonna.
schedule.
I would pick who's there now. I think the current standing is how it ends. I
So
think
Is
we
how it
you
get.
is.
so you'd go
I
what?
think we get Seahawks.
Bears, Packers, and would make it.
Well, obviously but the Bears or Packers will win their division, so they won't be the
Car
Yeah.
wild card team. But
Carolina and Tampa Bay still have two games to play as well. Both.
Mm.
yeah. But if we're talking just the three wild card teams, I
Yeah,
think it will be as it is now. Seahawks, or I say Seahawks, they might catch the Rams, but
they
obviously
could do.
Seahawks / Rams,
Mm.
whoever wins that division. Packers
Gr-
/ Bears, whoever wins that division, it will be then the other one as the wild card team, and then the 49ers. And I know Fletcher's probably going to be, well, I say probably, Fletcher's definitely going to be hoping that I'm wrong. But I just think it's getting too little too late with these games and the way that these other teams are playing. But I still think the NFC North all play quite a few division games remaining as well. So this is going to be really interesting. Same with the AFC. You both say I don't like the NFC. I promise I do when it comes playoff time and when it comes playoff meanings. And yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, to answer your question, Tom, I think it's going to be as it is now. I think the teams that are currently in the spots will make the playoffs.
Fletch agrees with you, according to the
But
chat.
if there is
Yeah.
one change to it, I think it's the Panthers taking that division from the Buccaneers.
Okay, and then one other question before I guess we're close to signing off. But with the AFC, you were saying
Yeah.
who are going to be the wild card teams in the AFC?
Well, Bills, yes, obviously, because they're the one that we said this yesterday. They're the team that there's basically two wild card spots now because obviously the Bills are at 8-4 and the Patriots going to win the division at 10-2. So that leaves them to the two.
Does Houston play the Colts?
Yeah, I think Houston plays the Colts. The
I'm
Colts
looking at it
play
right
the
now.
Jaguars twice.
They play there. It's Colts. The last game of the season is Colts in is Houston. I'm sorry, is the Texans in
Yeah.
Indianapolis.
So this is
Mm.
so all of it's shaping up so well because we've got a lot of these interdivision. There's a lot of same division teams in both
Yeah.
conferences in this hunt. So we're going to get really big games to end the season because it's not going to just be division games. It's going to be games for playoff spots. And to answer your question, Tom, Bills get in. It's so hard for me to bet against. I've said every year now I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes, but I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes. I'm betting against the Chiefs. Do you know what I mean? And but then again, the Chargers. Oh, I don't
The
know.
charge, the
I'm gonna
charge, the Chargers' schedule is tough as well. The last
if
five
that's
games,
yeah. So
they got the Eagles away. I think they've got Seattle in that run as well. So they got some tough games.
I think it's the Chargers. If you're gonna, it's gonna be the Chargers is the team that you usurp if you do make the playoffs. I think Bills are gonna get in. I think Colts will get in. I think they will just cling on and figure it
Yeah.
out enough. And it'll be them. It'll be either them or Jacksonville in the wild card spot because obviously the other one will win the division.
Well,
And then it's going to come down to Texans, Chargers, Chiefs. And if
Mm.
I
the
had to say
Colt
right now, don't know. Don't
the
know.
Colts, man, they got the Jags this coming week. Then they play Seattle and San Francisco back to back. Then they have the
They,
Jags again.
yeah,
And then they end with Houston. So I mean, that's not a real
That's
easy
not an easy
schedule.
stretch, is it?
No, it's
they got the
not.
toughest stretch out of those AFC South teams.
And then I'm pretty sure like Pittsburgh, who's still sitting there,
The Chiefs are
their
lucky, are they,
schedule's
that they play the
uh,
Titans and the Raiders as two of their five
Yeah,
teams
yeah,
left.
100%. But the
Still,
North is not getting a wild card team.
no.
Like you
No.
don't need to worry about the AFC North now. Like it's going to be the division winner, and that is it.
dude. New England has the most joke of a schedule left.
uh,
Giants, they got Buffalo is their only hard game. I mean Baltimore will be a tough game. It is in Baltimore.
I don't
Then they
like
got
doing the
Jets,
whole easy
Miami.
schedule stuff, but there
I
are
know you
some
don't, but
years.
like we know who the teams are. This
No,
is
no, no.
December.
What I'm saying is, like, but there are some years where a team does get one of those schedules where you're like, this is genuinely hilarious, like how easy of a schedule this is, and that is the
Mm.
Patriots schedule this year.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like in December with 5 games left, you've played 12 games. You are pretty much
Oh yeah,
yes.
you are who you
There are
are.
teams that hit like yes. There are teams that hit like who squeak in and just they pull out whatever and those are fun years too. But like yeah, it's just interesting. But yeah, anyway. Good episode, guys. We did it.
We
Fletch,
kept it reasonably within an hour.
we did. There he is. You want to do your plug real quick?
Yes. Now, I've got to ask you a question about the weekend. Getting towards the end of the season, we're in December. Well, we're now in December. How's
Merry
fantasy
Christmas.
going?
Happy 1st of December, by the way.
Happy 1st of December. How are our fantasy leagues going this year?
I am
Apart from
cooking
Molly,
in our
obviously.
one, so
I'm in the mix in two.
I'm
You're in the
currently 10 and
mix.
2 in
Yeah.
the AAW one.
It's like, well, obviously we're not talking about the NFC, so Wally doesn't have to go, I guess. Um. Oh, so I mean, it's fun. It's a really fun time of year as far as fantasy football goes. How have we done on? I mean, as well as fantasy football, I like to play a little, put a little flutter on at the weekend. Don't know if any of you like to do it. I know again, Ollie doesn't. Um, but I've
Cameron is
always
king of the
wondered,
flutters.
the king of the flutters. Well, I was thinking you not that long ago that I kind of wish you could do both of the things at the same time. Put a little flutter on, play some fantasy football. Then up steps Fantasy Game Day, the first and only NFL daily fantasy app made by UK fans for UK fans. You can set a lineup to a budget and compete against other UK fans, content creators, and more with the opportunity to win a few quid in the process. And you can do so too if you are not on it already. Go to the link in the description of this episode. Sign up to the app using the code HRDLE. That is hurdle without the U.
Because there's no hurdle the line without you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tom. I was getting really worried then that no one was going to do it. And you will get £7.50 in free plays once you deposit and play for the first time. Now, I play most weekends. I don't. I'm almost certain I know a couple of us do. You can come up, have a go against us, see if you can beat us, see if you see us in there. I've won a few quid this year, so I'm quite happy with that. Saved it in the account as well, so I don't spend it. Some nice Christmas spending money that you could also be in on as well if you choose to do so.
Boom. Thank you, Fletch. Awesome. I couldn't have said it better myself. As it is, I mean, I know Thanksgiving was Thursday, but as the resident American on the Hurdle the Line podcast, I just want to say how thankful I am for my football buddies, Tom, Ollie, for our super producer Fletch, who holds all the AEW teams together and always makes our episodes possible. I'm thankful that we're going to be perhaps having some very exciting end of the year football here in December and going into the holidays, guys. And I'm grateful for all you listeners, all 4 to 7 of you. Uh, thousand, sorry. Anyway, awesome episodes, guys. And I think if you've listened to this episode all the way this here, you know exactly what we're hurdling today. And as they say famously in Atlanta, ATL ho, hurdle that ho.